Hi, it's me, Vamp, and welcome back or welcome to the podcast. To be particular, the first podcast of 2022. Now, I actually am going to start right off the bat. We're going to talk about other games as well, but also especially in relation to Warframe versus Apple. Okay, I know what you're thinking, but Vamp, there's no current Warframe versus Apple case like there was Epic Games versus Apple or anything else versus Apple. I think there was a Samsung versus Apple at one time, but don't quote me on that. Anyway, this is different. This I'm referring to the fact that Warframe, at the time of recording this podcast episode, still is not on mobile, which means it's not on the iPhone, it's not on the iPad, and I stress not on the iPad specifically because of the fact that Apple had been pushing the new M1 chip, and since they've been pushing the new M1 chip, they've been pushing their Apple products with the M1 chip, which includes the new iPad Pro and the new iMac. Yes, iMac is important for this scenario too because Warframe is not on Mac. Actually, I think at one time they said that they don't see Warframe coming to the Mac. I think that was their official. Unofficially, I think they mentioned something about it never coming to Mac, but officially, their stance on it, they don't see anything could happen, but not likely. That's their official stance on it. Now, I don't know if that stance is going to change throughout this year. I honestly think it should because, okay, let's be perfectly honest. Most of your, video gamers, main gamers know to do PC typically. But with that, when it comes to gaming, but with that said, I feel like lately, because of the M1 chip, because of so many factors, it could be like if you get a MacBook Air costs anywhere between $600 and $1,000. That's US. Right now, as of making the podcast episode, the reasons the $400 difference or whatever depends on the configuration you'll get as well as if you're a student or not. Apple does offer some discounts in some areas if you're a student. I say some areas because I don't know every country they offer a discount. I don't work for Apple, nor am I sponsored by Apple at the time of making this podcast episode. But yeah, and let's say you newly specced out, fully specced out Mac's computer will cost you what, $5,000? I'm talking fully specced out. More if you build it yourself these days because scalpers, but I won't get into detail too much about scalpers. That isn't what this podcast episode is about. But I will say that because of that, I feel like some people, some gaming, light gaming, could be done on Macs. Like, okay, picture this. Picture a YouTuber or a content creator rendering a video and stuff, then they are like, oh, I have like 15 minutes to cure something. What do they want to do? They want to get on Warframe, but they have to, either have a separate laptop or turn on their other computer or whatnot, and they want just a quick in and out, back to work, back to life thing. Now, I will admit that back in the day, I would have said that what does it matter? Well, most games are on Mac. But, okay, first of all, I think Fortnite's on Mac. I'm pretty sure Fortnite is on everything. And thanks to the whole thing with the whole Apple Arcade thing, there are some fun little games on Mac via Apple Arcade, like Cut the Rope. Cut the Rope, I only bring it up because I don't have Apple Arcade at this time, but Cut the Rope was like a favorite app of mine back in the day. I used to have it on my old Android phone back in the day. I enjoyed it so much. It was just one thing. You cut the rope at the appropriate time, and then it's supposed to get all the stars. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So, I think that potential user to be had. I think that potential, money to be had. I think that potential everything to be had if they release a version of Warframe for the Mac. Now, yes, it is allegedly the Warframe on mobile is still coming. Hopefully it comes this year. It really had the potential to revolutionize everything, for lack of a better term, because there's a lot of mobile games lately that have been ported to desktop, like Raid Shadow Legends, so on and so forth. Genshin Impact, I guess. It's very odd to think that Genshin Impact would be a mobile game before a desktop game, but to be honest, the PC interface leaves a little bit to be desired at the moment, but because even the PlayStation interface, they feel like they were ported straight from a mobile interface, which I think is the case. I could be wrong, but anyway, my point is gacha games are making their way to PC ports and whatnot. So it will be interesting to see Warframe, a PC and console game, make its way to mobile devices, which means it will be on iOS and Android, yeah, but also the MacBook, not the MacBook, well, depending on which update you'll have maybe, but moreover the iPad, and I think they should consider getting Mac support. That's just what I think about that. But with that said, Warframe isn't the only game that I think would benefit from Mac support. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know if Destiny 2 has Mac support, but if it doesn't, I recommend maybe trying it. Okay, here's the thing. I don't know Destiny 2 spec-wise. I don't know if a MacBook will be able, or whether a iMac would be able to handle the full amount of Destiny 2. Unless it's already on Mac, in which case, more power to it, right? But yeah, I just think more and more games should be on Mac because in the long run that's going to increase sales overall. Not necessarily of Macs, but Apple doesn't need help in that department if I'm being honest. I'm talking more in the lines of increased sales for the games because, hear me out. Once again, I know a lot of you listening to this are probably thinking, Vamp, have you gone crazy? Everyone knows that if you want to play a game, you play it on PC. If you want to do work related stuff, you'll do it on a Mac or a PC, but a Mac. Okay, so yes, quote unquote, everyone knows that. But what I'm saying, I'm not saying like super like top of the line graphics, best, whatever. I'm just saying like, say, okay, for example, say I rendered something, okay, on the Mac, and then I don't want to turn on my PC, or I don't have my PC right next to me, or whatever, or I'm not home and I only have my MacBook, so I'm rendering a file there. I finish the file, and then I'm like, oh, you know what? I want to play a little bit of Destiny or a little bit of Warframe or a little bit of X game. I don't want to do too much. I don't need like the best of the line graphics to play it, but I at least want to do a little bit. Well, it would be nice to just be able to do a little bit like I wanted. That would just be nice. I know that the Nintendo Switch, I know what you're thinking. Oh, but couldn't you just carry a Switch? Let's say I don't have any foresight at all. And let's go even further. Let's say I don't own a Switch. Let's just say that for this example purposes, because not everyone owns, you know, a lot of stuff, okay? So let's just say that this person, they're just starting out content creation, right? And they just managed to scrape enough money together for the MacBook Air. Let's say MacBook Air 2020, okay? They just scraped enough money for that. They just got that thanks to the M1 chip. They were able to, render videos faster than they ever have before. And, after they rendered the video at Starbucks, because, I don't know, TV shows always portray people as working on their MacBooks at Starbucks. I don't know if it's true or not, but TV shows say it is, so who am I to argue with TV shows? Anyway, let's say they just finished rendering the video. They're uploading it to YouTube, right? Maybe to, the channel or something. Well, they after they complained, oh, you guys have terrible Wi-Fi and whatnot, because I decided at the last moment that they're complaining people, which kind of makes you not want to root for them. But anyway, moving on, let's say they just got done complaining about Wi-Fi. So, after they get done with the ragey complaining, whatever, they realize that nothing they can do. They have to wait that full 30 minutes to an hour for the video to be uploaded. So what did they do? They're like, man, there's nothing to do on here. I wish I could do something. Well, bam, if Destiny 2 or possibly Warframe, but see, both of those games are interesting examples because they both use internet, so in theory that might make it upload a little bit slow. But let's say for this purposes, internet doesn't work that way, and internet's able to compartmentalize, okay? I know that's not really how internet works, but for the purpose of this, okay, hear me out, guys. They say, hey, I want to play Destiny 2. Hey, I want to play Warframe. Hey, I want to play insert game here. Well, they would be able to, right? They would be like, oh, I'm going to buy this game. Oh, I'm going to download this game. Oh, I'm going to try this game. Oh, you know what? I'm going to play this game more often. I had fun playing it while I was at Starbucks after I complained about the internet speed and while I was waiting for my video to upload. Then I'd be like, okay, this is good. This is good. And then I possibly tell their friends about the game, or tell their family about the game, or tell their pet monkey about the game, because in that scenario they have a pet monkey now, I decided. Okay, so I'm getting way off the rails with this whole thing, but I honestly do think that video games in general would benefit from having a Mac version of them. I say this because Apple has been pushing their M1 chip like crazy. Their 2-year conversion plan has all but worked already. They threw the M1 chip in everything. They have the M1 chip in the MacBook Air. They have M1 chip in the new iMacs. They have M1 chip in the new the new iPad Pros even have the M1 chip just thrown in them just because. So now almost everything is integrated in the new M1 chip. I think the iPad Airs still have the A14X. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure that the iPhone 14 will probably have an M1 chip for all I know. And then, you know, they have the M1X chip, I believe, M2 chip that's coming, and they just have this whole M series. So, yeah, basically Apple has integrated stuff and everything, and I feel like more games should jump on that train, okay? Apple has already done their advertising for their stuff. All Apple fans are gung-ho about it already. Or at the very least, okay, maybe make some partnership with Apple so you can get your game on the Apple Arcade. That would be an interesting route to go. I literally just thought about that just now. I don't know if that would be a smart decision. I don't know which would be smarter, trying to make a partnership with Apple so your game could be on Apple Arcade, or actually probably the second option, because I think if your game's on Apple Arcade, it becomes an exclusive to Apple Arcade game. Don't quote me on that, I'm not sure. But I mean, you could make your game compatible with Mac still. And yeah, just I get what I'm saying is open the market up to casual gamers. And I believe that the Apple ecosystem has a bunch of casual gamers. I'm not saying everyone that owns an iPhone or an iPad is a casual gamer. I'm not saying that. Lower your Apple branded pitchforks. All I'm saying is that I think that you could get a new audience, because people who play on the iPhone or iPad, they might not be casual gamers. They might actually just play mobile games all the time on their iPhones and iPad, which is fine. There's a bunch of mobile gamers out there, mobile game exclusive. When I say that, I picture in my head like someone having like 6 or 7 different like iPads and, you know, Android phones and iPhones and stuff, all just one by one, refreshing the stuff and going through the dungeons with the characters and clicking and using auto functions and all that stuff. But anyway, those are not casual gamers, they're mobile gamers, a complete different thing. But you know, your regular people on the Mac, I mean, you know, content creation and playing video games don't always go hand in hand. Like, for me personally, they tend to, because, you know, I'm a gaming YouTube channels mostly. I've been trying to branch out. Actually, I'll leave a link if I can, but basically iVamp and Code Vamp are 2 channels that I'm trying to start on YouTube. I'll leave links in wherever. I think there's a description thing that you can click on links or whatever, but yeah, I'll leave those channels in the description or whatever. But basically it's iVamp and Code Vamp. And yeah, I'm just trying out with that. iVamp, the name might even change, I'm not sure yet, so just follow the link in the wherever below or to the side or wherever you're listening to this on. If the links are clickable, I don't even know. But anyway, now I'm getting off into my own tangent about a tangent thing. But anyway, yeah, I just think it would be a nice thing, a profitable thing, if you could get more casual gamers. Because like I said, content creation and, you know, gaming aren't mutually exclusive. People could have bought the new iMac and they want to be like, oh, I want to play a level or 2 of this game, and then they're like, oh, I don't have a PC, so I can't. And that closes that door right then and there. Or they have a PC on the other side of the room, but you know, that's on the other side of the room, man. The other side of the room. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to end this episode here. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the future. Those of you guys that made it to the end, I appreciate you guys. I truly do. And with that said, I will catch you guys in the future. Later.